Okay, so I just thought I would post a really tiny review of what you're supposed to be doing on photosynthesis plays. Uh, so, as far as the characters and roles that you'll be playing, I have included those on the sheet that said carbon dioxide, water, sunlight. Think of those less as an action or something you have to act out and more as a role, because each one of those things has a role in photosynthesis, which, as a reminder, is a process that plants use to make food. Particularly glucose in this case is the one we are going to be using. And so I just kind of want to walk you through the process one more time so you have a little bit more of an idea of what's going on in this process. Keep in mind this is a very, very general idea of what is occurring. It is not everything in depth because that's really complex. And so here we have sunlight. The energy from sunlight is going to be what gets us powered right off the get-go. And so this energy is going to come in. Now there's a bunch of reactions that actually occur, but what you need to know is that these reactions are going to split water. And so the water that's coming in here, if you can see the little rain cloud here and the little raindrops, keep in mind this is H2O. And so to make water, you need 2 hydrogens and you need 1 oxygen. And so what's going to happen here is this is going to provide the energy to split that apart. And so we are left with hydrogen ions, which we have the little plus signs on them, the little marks, to show that they are ions. They have a charge to them. And so then the oxygen, as we well know, is given off, which is yay for us. But we have this hydrogen that is left over. Now that hydrogen is going to do a couple different things. First of all, the splitting of anything, remember, is going to release energy. So when we split this molecule, I'll demonstrate it a little bit different here. When we split this, we have 2 hydrogens and we have 1 oxygen. And so right in these bonds, this is where our energy is stored. And so when this comes in and it breaks these bonds, a little bit of energy is required to break it. And then once it is broken, it releases energy. Now, that energy is used to create something we call ATP, right? So that energy is going to put ADP together with a phosphate, which is our ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So that is our first energy carrier that is going to go over into the next part. The second has to do with these hydrogens. So at first we have NADP+, and then we're going to attach these hydrogens to that. So we're going to make a bond here. So here's another energy carrier, one that is going to carry along the energy in those bonds to the next part. Just an FYI, this is all taking place in this lovely stack here. This is called the grana. And the grana is made up of many thylakoids. So each one of those little pancakes or discs is called a thylakoid. Now this process in its entirety is called the light-dependent reactions. So the light-dependent reactions are going to use light as their energy to get more energy. And then we are going to come over to our next cycle, which is called the Calvin cycle. Again, it used to be called the dark reactions or the dark cycle because it can occur when there is no sunlight out, because the energy that we need is right here. It's already created. And so we have that coming in. We also have, let's see, I don't even have another color. We also have carbon dioxide coming in here. Now, so we have all of the things that we need, right? We have sunlight, plants need that. Plants need water, and plants need carbon dioxide. And in turn, they give us oxygen, and then they will also give us carbohydrates through this process. Calvin cycle gives us glucose, C6H12O6. Okay, so this is just the real generic, really general process. You can see kind of that this is a big cycle, because after this, we have to continue this. We have de-energized forms of these. So after the ATP has been split, the energy has been used here in the Calvin cycle to put this together. And so now we're going to have ADP, which is the de-energized form. And we're also going to have NADP+, which is also the de-energized form. And so what we have going on here is we have 3 different cycles actually happening in photosynthesis. We have the light-dependent reactions, which is the first one. We have the Calvin cycle, and in between all of this, which makes it all possible and connects it all together, is the ATP cycle and NADPH cycle, if you would like to do it that way. If you have any questions, you can send me a tweet. Twitter account is on, well, lots of different things. So it's at Mrs. Vandervorst on Twitter. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, good luck, and I will talk to you later.